Our learning goal for Module 3 is to develop a deeper understanding of number sense routines, and the learning activities that we'll be participating in is to continue to explore visual routines and resources and reflect on current practices. This week we're including the use of Rec and Recs into our visual routines practices. You may also hear them referred to as math racks. So on the left, I have an example of a teacher Rec and Rec, and you will see that there is a white piece of, it's just a white piece of wood that goes in front of the beads. So below that, or behind that, you would see 4 beads on top, 4 of the white remaining beads, and then all 10 of the second row of beads. So that is one that you could use for a teacher presentation. On the top right, there's 2 different student versions that you could have them use. They both, you see, have 20. The top one I just purchased this year, and the bottom one was handed down to me from another math coach. And then the bottom right picture is a different way that you could see them or purchase a Rec and Rec. And I think they actually call these number strings maybe when you purchase them from the company. But these were given to me, and they actually had 20 beads on them. And what I did was I wanted to use them with preschool. And so I took 10 of the beads off and then shortened the rope a little bit. You'll also see that there is I took a piece of Marvelous tape and kind of secured the end of one of the ends of the string, and that's because for the use of Rec and Recs, the starting position is always white on the right. So I wanted the preschoolers to be able to know that their white beads had to be pulled all the way over to where the white tape was, and that was their starting position. So some cues that I use for students when I work with these is starting position, and then everybody slides all their beads back to the starting position, and they know that the white beads go on the right. So we say white on right. And those are some of the cues that I use. And those are some different examples of what you could see if you have Rec and Recs in your building or if you're looking to purchase them. I also included in the resources an app. So there is an app, if you have access to iPads, that you can download to the iPad, and your students could use a virtual Rec and Rec. And I think that you'll find the same outcomes regardless of which ones you decide to use with your kids. In the Module 3 resources, you will find a Word document that has links to visual routines. Most of them are the same as last week, but you will see that there is a Rec and Rec section now on the Word document. So one of the links will take you to Build Math Minds, and the video is called Top 5 Rec and Rec Activities. Another one of the links will take you to a YouTube video, which is Graham Fletcher, and his is the Rec and Rec Making Number Sense. And then in that video, you'll see that he uses some resources. So I have also linked the resources that were used in that video. There's a recording sheet, I believe, that students are using. So I wanted you to have access to that. And then I've also included a link to different examples of how you could use the Rec and Rec, and then a Rec and Rec app. If you don't have money to purchase Rec and Recs or you don't have them available in your building, there is an app that you can get on iPads if you have access to iPads. There is also, if you look on like Pinterest or places like that, you can make them very easily. So I know a lot of people that have taken pieces of cardboard, pipe cleaners, and pony beads, and they have made their own Rec and Recs. So there's definitely a ton of ways that you can get them into your classroom. So like I said in my email, I had the opportunity to teach in a second grade classroom that was short A sub. And so when I was getting ready to go down there, I went ahead and grabbed our swivel, which is a little robot that I can put my phone on. And then I wear a marker or a little remote. And as I move, the swivel moves with me. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to teach today, I might as well record myself teaching because I want to continue to get better. So I watched my video looking for things that I could improve on. So can we first look at the picture, the screenshot of me? I think that Facebook, Swivel, YouTube, whenever they're trying to capture what image they're going to use as like the face of the video, I feel like there's some kind of program they use to capture like the weirdest picture. I look like I'm gonna jump out and scare someone. So in the resources you will find a link to the video that I recorded myself teaching using Steve Wyborney's Subitizing Images, which I shared with you in the resources last week. Now, it's not perfect by any means. For example, it's the beginning of the school year and you will notice that I did a lot of the revoicing of students' thinking. And as I watched it back and thought about, okay, these are second graders, I could have used the talk move where students are revoicing the thinking of their peers rather than having me do the revoicing. So even in that 15 minutes, I thought I did too much of the talking. I should have asked more students to repeat or revoice what their peers were sharing as their strategy. So if you want to take a look at it, I thought it was a good example of what it could look like in a second grade classroom. Okay, this might seem a little off topic. However, if I reflect on what has really changed or upped my math game in the last 2 years, I would say Twitter. Twitter is a super valuable tool or social media platform that can be used for continuing professional development. My Twitter is only used professionally and maybe to follow like Chiefs football a little bit and the Royals baseball and the fire department that my husband works on. But other than that, strictly professional. And I follow a lot of instructional experts and a lot of math experts. And through there, they share a ton of resources, free resources and ideas. And then what I do is I harvest those ideas. I harvest those ideas and I take them to teachers and we use them with kids. So what I did was I collected for you some of my favorites that I think are really worth the time. So a couple of them are Papillion teachers that have one-to-one classrooms, and I know that we don't all have that luxury. I completely understand that. I do feel like we have access to technology, and for a day or two, for some of these activities that they're doing with their students in the one-to-one classroom, it would be worth taking the time trying to get an iPad cart and doing the activity with your students. So I've posted some of my favorites. If you're using Twitter and you have some favorites, please share them when you're responding or posting in our question collaboration this week for homework. All right, guys, the homework this week is to read pages 49 through 53 in your book, Number Sense Routines by Jessica Shumway. This is just the section of the visual routines chapter that is going to focus on Rec and Recs. And then I want you to continue to explore the visual routines resources I've collected and posted. Notice the additions of the Rec and Rec resources. And then your homework. I have posted a question, and I want you to answer the question that's posted and then respond to at least 2 posts of classmates that are in the class. So my goal here is for us to collaborate. That's the one thing. I love the online class format. Love, love, love it. I think it fits best with the times that we have available as coaches, teachers, moms, dads. I think that the online class format is amazing, but I do miss the conversation that happens in an in-person class. So I want you to share ideas, share concerns or struggles, ask for advice, and pretend like you're in a PLC or talking with your instructional coach or problem solving with your teaching partner. I want to try to make this as authentic as possible. So if you are rocking the visual routines, get out there and shout all the things that are working really well for you. If you're struggling maybe with the planning piece or the questioning piece, then ask those questions. What did you, to get advice from the other people that are in this group. Have a great Module 3. Some of us are starting conferences this week, so good luck if you have parent-teacher conferences, and we will see you in Module 4.